This video is on the numeric vibration of 164. Hello, welcome to the Pathway Through 11 series. This video that you're about to watch is one of several videos in this series, but they're not in any particular order. So watch them, as many of them as you want to, and in any order that you want to, for how they work best and resonate best for you. The numerical vibration of 164 starts with this 4 vibration, which is really all about foundation. And so when we are encountering this numerical vibration of 164, we are needing to really examine the foundations of who we are, the way that we think, the way that we react to the things. When things irritate us and trigger us, we need to examine the foundation of where that's come from. And by doing that, that opens us up to being able to start getting to a place of comfort, which is that 6 vibration of just being comfortable in our own skin and understanding who we are. And by understanding those foundations and getting to that place of comfort in self, we are able to then open up this new beginning, this new way of thinking, this new way of being, this new way of doing things or interacting with people. Now we have to remember that this vibration of 164, those digits do add up to an 11 that then add up to a 2. So when we are examining these foundations and getting to a place of comfort for this new beginning, then we get into this balancing act place and ultimately are trying to come together as a whole person where we are coupled within ourselves. And so one of the phrases that resonates at this numerical vibration of 164 is more than enough. And so I think this is appropriate for this discussion of 164 in that we all tend to, at some point in our lives, get to a place where we have to begin to understand why we don't feel like we are enough and begin to understand that we are more than enough. And it doesn't mean that you are conceited, because in actuality, being conceited in that way, the way that we see it, is actually more insecure than not. But it's getting to this place of understanding that you are more than enough. So by understanding those foundations and those comfort zones and opening up this new idea of who you are, you can also celebrate that you are more than enough. So when we look a little bit more deeply at this numerical vibration of 164, especially in relation to this phrase of more than enough, we have to remember that 164 those digits do add up to and terminate in an 11, which then goes to a 2. So as part of this pathway through 11, we need to examine what does this vibration of 164 really mean at an 11 vibration, and what does it mean at a 2 vibration, so that we can get through that 11 and to the 2. And so if we first think about more than enough at an 11, so with this numerical vibration of 164, we are examining our foundations, the foundations of makes us who we are, and getting comfortable with just being who we are. So now this new beginning can open up. When we are going through this process and resonating at an 11 vibration, this is where we're really kind of in that in-between stage, because we don't immediately become comfortable with who we are. We don't immediately understand our foundations, and we don't immediately open up to this new beginning of the way we see ourselves or thinking about ourselves or how we act or behave in our world. And so when we're at this 11, it is kind of a stage to be able to get through this process to that 2. So at this 11, we're almost balancing between our old ways of thinking about ourselves and our new ways of thinking about ourselves. So especially with this phrase of more than enough, we are now kind of straddling and balancing between this place of thinking that we are not enough and more than enough, and how to reconcile with those two is this balancing act that is happening. But when we get to the point where we can begin to understand that we are more than enough just because of who we are, that we don't have to put judgment on the foundations that we're finding, because regardless if you or anybody else considers those foundations good or bad, it is what makes you you. And that's that 2. That's that neutral place of 2, of when those extremes come together, where we understand that we are made up of these extremes, and it's that combination, that coupling of extremes that makes us who we are. And then we can truly become comfortable with who we are and what our purpose is in this life and how we see ourselves and how we actually see others as well. So, a way to be able to take action to move from this 11 to the 2 in this space of more than enough is to be brave enough to examine the foundations of who you are. And that starts this process. And we're not going to immediately go to feeling like we are more than enough. And so just examining those foundations and allowing the process to begin and to occur is the biggest action we can take. Thank you.